who I found. It's amazing. Momo made it.
I made it.
Welcome to our front yard. We're not sure if this is our front yard or our backyard. It's
Welcome to our land.
The back of the house, but it faces the mountains, and this will be our amazing filming location for who knows how long. So we have exciting thing that we want to share with you. Victor's gonna explain it.
Well, we have this amazing 5-day course that we're deciding. Robin and I decided to jump in and help people out, right? Help couples out, help individuals out with relationships. And a big part of that is because we see so many people are just
getting by, not thriving.
Well, individually, people, you know, the quarantine has just crushed people. But you take a person who's not feeling good and they're in a relationship. Oh my God, I just feel so bad for couples. And I thought, you know, we've been in a relationship. We've done this for a while, and we're managing to come through it, thriving. Let's help some people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to explain a little bit more about the course in a second, but we really want people to understand, like, a relationship you should not settle. Relationships should not be like, oh, well, we've been married for 23 years. Like, it should absolutely be as exciting as it was on day one.
Well, yeah, here's the thing is when you first start off in a relationship, it's a little like Disneyland. Oh my God, this is awesome. You're getting all these neurotransmitters, your dopamine, that you're in the infatuation, the honeymoon phase. And I don't really think it needs to end.
I don't think it has for us. I mean, we've put some crazy hardships. There have been some spots where it's yelling at each other. Why don't you like traveling through Europe? Things like that. But overall, it's still like, okay, step back, reconnect. Like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. This is so great. It's
that vibration that you have when you meet someone. If you want to continue to have it, I think we've come up with a real systematic plan so that you can feel that way every day with your partner and be so excited to see them.
Absolutely. And Victor always tells me it's kind of like a fighter, like when someone is going to go into...
It's like a professional fighter, right? So professional fighter does a number of things. He's not going to be like, hey, I'm just going to go in there and figure it out. And they might say that in the post-fight interview, but you know, they're eating right, sleeping right. They're training all the different styles.
Talking to all the different styles.
They're talking to they got their head in the game. They're doing all these things. So why shouldn't self-care or a relationship be any different?
Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do. For 5 days, we are going to give you this, it's basically a relationship course, Reignite the Passion.
We're going to systemize
it. But we're going to give it to you for free if you show up live. So if you come to our live one every night, 7 p.m. starting tomorrow, we are going to give you the entire system that you need to make your relationship.
We're gonna help you. We're gonna help others. Tell people.
Absolutely. If you know someone who's hurting. And the other thing is, even if you're not in a relationship currently, I highly recommend you still show up. If you feel like you're struggling engaging in a relationship, staying in a relationship, we're going to be able to help you. There's some really good tools, and we're going to, just like you said with the fighter, we're going to attack it from all fronts, because you're crazy. I'm crazy, but we're all crazy to think that it only has to do with one aspect. It's so multifaceted, and the reason we thrive in a relationship is because we attack our lives basically from multiple fronts.
Yeah, and you have to raise awareness on all the angles that you might have issues with.
Right.
You know, whether you say the word, the biggest things for me is I always talk about my trauma and my personality. But you can tell them a little bit about.
Yeah. So day one, we're going to go from food as an aphrodisiac, because we strongly believe what you put in your body is the first start. And let me tell you, there's a good chance you are putting the wrong thing in your body that is killing your libido. Day two, play. You know, we're huge proponents on play. If you don't know, I wrote a book called A Playful Life that I absolutely need to tell you guys about someday, but we haven't done that much. But play is huge for our relationship.
Yeah, if you're not interacting together, and we can get into it a little bit, but navigate. It's not. You could just say that, hey, go play together. That's not enough. We have to come up with a system, like a Venn diagram, where you're like, boom, you're crossing over.
Absolutely. Right? Mastering your mojo. Mastering your mojo.
We talked about it ahead of time. I wanted to make sure I got to use quotation fingers. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, you dropped the ball on that one.
Sorry.
Mastering your mojo.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely.
It's going to be the next one. If you don't know, we're going to talk a little bit about chakras. If you don't know, chakras are really important for our family. It's just, again, it's that S word. It's a system. It's not that you can't have religion. It's not that you need to be this
essentially
spiritual
it is
guru.
spirituality anyway. So it doesn't conflict anything. It's
We
going
have a really cool way to approach this, and
Yeah.
it makes it so that you can be like, oh, boom. For example, Victor, we always tell him his Manipura, his solar plexus chakra's off. Well, guess what? Driving Momo here totally opened that chakra point, and the energy he showed up with, mind blowing.
It's been but I have to be aware of it, and there was practice. I mean, how many times have I come and gone this summer to get to that point? Man, you got to put in the work.
Rules of engagement, that was definitely one Victor's taught me. I had a hard time with rules of engagement, so.
Well, the people closest to you, you'd be like, oh man, I know how to stick in that knife a little bit harder. And we got to talk about exactly what those rules are to make sure you don't cross that line for that individual, but you have to have open dialogue to make sure that people know that.
Honestly, this is why I think we hesitated on this for a long time. We've talked about it. It's been this like, oh, one day we want to blank, and we're doing it. But here's the thing. If you go to a shrink, they're going to talk about rules of engagement. Well, you have to talk in, I feel this way.
Sure.
And I'm like, I just think we're going to be able to give you the same tools without having to make it so.
Disclaimer. You forgot the disclaimer. We're not doctors.
But I do think we live this. You know, some people just don't live it. They have all the theory behind it, but they're not actually applying it. They're not doing it with 5 kids. They're not shoving 5 kids into an RV.
For 5 years traveling and like, let's see how much stress we can put on our relationship. And right now I just feel so.
And then your favorite, flip the script.
Yeah, you know, you got to put a 180 sometimes on things and say, you know what, screw it. I'm tired of living on this path. Flip the script. Cobra Kai, thank you for that line. I've been using it pretty often. I think we have to grasp a hold of something like, all right, so this is what my story's been.
Well, it's our shirts, Defy the Norm. We are so used to living in a belief system on what we are told, what we are raised, what everyone around us is doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's COVID, wear a mask. Well, what if I'm healthy enough that I feel like I can take some virus that maybe is floating around? What if? I'm not saying you shouldn't wear a mask. I'm just saying maybe we need to rethink this in our relationships too. Maybe relationships aren't supposed to get boring. Maybe relationships don't have to be hard. Maybe
your life should be enjoyed.
No. Okay, flip the script. So 5 days, you're going to need to sign up. Links in the description. Links probably also, you know, Gabby takes care of that stuff. She probably put it in our story. She probably put it in the link tree. You need to sign up because it's going to be via Zoom, so I got to send you the link. But every day for 5 days. And hey, if you miss it, don't worry, we're going to throw it up in a course. And with the course, there'll be replays and there'll be worksheets and there'll be a Facebook group. And you'll have this vibe, this community of like-minded people who think relationships are supposed to be fun.
Yeah, and in the end, you know, we're going to help you in a system that's going to make it step by step so that you're successful.
Absolutely.
So when you go see a coach, that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Give me steps. Drink water.
All right. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.